All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Huddle. Me, Gainer Manchu, along with Stizz, our Survivor Pool champion, and of course, as always, the great Nevada Nick.
Yeah, at least he
his
put the asterisk there, though. At least he did that. Thanks, Stizz. I appreciate that. Put the asterisk next to both ones.
Anytime, buddy. That's for you.
Yeah, he's got his asterisks there. You know, we got some crazy football on Thursday night. Actually, I wanted just one quick shout out before we start. Happy birthday to Billy's wife. It's her birthday today. I just want to say happy birthday. Appreciate you guys having me over for a little holiday cheer last night. It was fun. So appreciate it. I just want to give that shout out before we get rolling today in it. Sammy Moore, what's up, Sammy? How you doing, brother?
What's going on, Sammy?
Yeah, man. I tell you what, but these guys were just saying we'll get into that game. That'll be big because the Eagles obviously have a bye this week. So
yeah, that's on the list, Sammy. Don't worry, brother. now, Coach, you want to get into Thursday night's game, and Coach, honestly, I might have fired Mike Zimmer after that game, even though it was a win. I mean, every game now. So basically, every game but one, they've had a 7-point or more lead. The Steelers, the kicker missed the extra point, so it was only 6. Well, yeah, my God, they were up 29-0. So right. The game before was only 6 points. But, I mean, you have that, and you're under 500. And now you have a 29-point lead in the third quarter against what I would call definitely, it might be bottom 5, but a bottom 10.
Inept. I would call their offense almost inept.
Right. And you basically –
Thank you, Sammy.
Well, and yeah, he did, Sammy. And look, but he played great in that second half. And that throw he made to Freiermuth to end the game, I mean, there was 4 guys there, and he put it in the one spot for Freiermuth to catch the ball, and Smith just made a better play at safety, knocking the ball out. But, yeah, I mean, what's going on, Sammy? And thanks for calling me champ. I appreciate that.
He wasn't talking to you.
But, no, I mean, it's just once again, and what you saw, too, was Kirk Cousins. Yeah, you know what? Kirk Cousins, again, statistically, having a great year. But you saw it. He threw 2 picks late that were critical. One return to the, obviously the 20-yard line. So you're putting them right in there. Kirk Cousins also. So it's their 2 biggest problems. Kirk Cousins and obviously Mike Zimmer putting them in the issues. And it's like, that's the problem with Cousins. Like yes, he has great statistics, but he doesn't play winning football. Sometimes you got to know you're up, be smart, throw it away, don't make that throw. And they were bad throws. It wasn't one of those crazy tips. And yeah, you can also go at, hey, you got a big lead. Why aren't you running the ball with the guy who's got almost 200 yards? Why are you even throwing a damn ball? So, but that's the problems is Mike Zimmer and Kirk Cousins. I'm going to ask you guys both. I mean, I think we're all going to say Zimmer should be gone. But do you bring back Zimmer? Do you bring back Cousins? Each, on both of them, Coach. I'll start with you.
Well, I mean, if the contract's up this year, I don't bring him back. But I mean, if he's got another year, I bring him back. But he's going to have a short leash. I mean, really short.
You're talking about Cousins.
Yeah, but Zimmer's gone. Zimmer's gone. I don't even think he gets on the plane or out of the locker room the last game of the season before they fire him.
Yeah, he should have been fired freaking Thursday.
We said, look, Nick, you and I have been saying this for the last 2 seasons. That
the other one we were talking about last week was we said Matt Nagy should have got canned too, and here they are. They're going to be lame duck coaches. They're both going to get canned. Stizz, to you, who do you think would you bring back Either one of them, get rid of both of them. What would you do, Stizz?
Zimmer's definitely gone.
Right.
Kirk Cousins, I have to agree with Coach. If he does have a year left, I think he comes back for one more year. I mean, this is Minnesota football this year. I mean, they just play tight games. They give games away. I mean, if you look back at this year at their games, they only had one game against Seattle in week 3 that it was a 7+ point differential. Every other game's been close, win or loss. So you could tell they just either can't close out games or they can't put teams away. And that's just how this team's been rolling this year.
Now, also, and Mike, in that, they did draft a quarterback, the kid from Mississippi State, I think.
You can put that up when you're answering them so people know, Coach.
Mike. Well, I think, why not now? I mean, come on, you're in the tank anyway. Why don't you see what you got with that kid?
Well, and here's my thing, and I think you guys will agree. Remember when Minnesota was really good just a couple of years back when they played my Eagles in the NFC Championship? Right. Why was it that defense? Case Keenum was playing quarterback. And you know what your problem is? You're paying Kirk Cousins $35 million a year now. So now your team has fallen apart around him. The line's never been great for the Vikings, but it was the defense. And that Zimmer, he's a defensive coach. And now you're scoring points. But the problem is when you can't stop teams, like that defense stinks, it's going to happen. And you got a guy like Cousins who just makes bad plays in bad moments. He's just, like we know, that's the one position where you're judged by wins and losses, the quarterback position. But I would honestly, I'd move on from both because Cousins, you can start allocating money other ways. I would start fresh. I mean, what's the point of Cousins? And let Cousins go maybe to a better situation, because in a better situation, maybe he does good. Maybe if he goes to the Steelers, he elevates that team. That's one location they've talked about with him. Stizz, you got something to say?
No, I was going to say any quarterback should succeed in that offense. I mean, look at the weapons they have on offense.
Right.
I mean, people would die to get that.
That's Gary Kubiak's kid is the offensive coordinator.
That's right. Okay. Yeah, you're right. No, you're.
We'll see moving forward. But I mean, there's a lot of offensive weapons there, a lot of juicy weapons for somebody coming in if it's not Cousins next year.
Right. No, and we'll see what they do. But I think, like we said, I think Kirk Cousins, they'll have the discussion and leave it up to the new coach. But I would be stunned.
Yes, Brian, I know I spelled it that way on purpose. Yes, I did. As you see, it's Gator Manchu.
He might be making the remark of Minshew coming there. Maybe that's
what he might say.
Okay.
Yeah, right. I mean, look, I wouldn't be against it. That's for sure.
Look, and I just think that game with the Jets, I don't think, I will get into this in a little bit, but I don't think it's a quarterback controversy. I think that brings up trade value for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, the one thing I don't get, yes, he doesn't have the greatest arm. But you're talking about a guy who's got 39 TDs to 11 interceptions. And he hasn't won, but it's like he was on the Jags. Are they doing great this year with the prodigy and Trevor Lawrence? No. Right. So I think it was a more product of his environment, and he still put those stats up, with that team. So I just wonder, would he flourish? And you can see that he's the kind of guy teams will play around. He's got a lot of passion. So we'll see. Yeah, and Eagles are looking for draft picks. And look, if you're a team without a quarterback, and honestly, Brian, unless you're giving me a 3rd-round pick, I'm bringing him back. If I don't know what kind of contract he signed, it might have only been 1 year, but I'm bringing him back. I want him and Hurts, because if something happens with Hurts, it's always, look, the Eagles know better than anybody. It's always good to have a good backup QB.
Yeah,
we wouldn't have a Super Bowl if we didn't. So let's get into the big news, obviously, of the week right now. Mike McCarthy. Sammy, we're going to go into what you wanted, buddy. Mike McCarthy, not guarantees, but he said we're going to win the game. Obviously, huge game for the NFC East. If Dallas wins this game, probably kind of stamps that NFC East crown for him. If it doesn't, now all of a sudden, Washington's one game within them, and the Eagles are right there too. And as we've said, Washington goes Cowboys, Eagles, and the Dallas finishes the season with the Eagles. So, and they got to play the Cardinals too. So like, Cowboys lose this game, things are starting to get interesting in the NFC East. My question to you guys,
Except for the Giants.
right? Well,
Yeah.
except for the Giants. Do you think it was a mistake, McCarthy coming out and saying we're going to win the game? I'll start with you, Stizz.
It's always a mistake.
Yeah.
You'd never put that on the bulletin boards. You'd never say that out loud, that
Right.
it's a guarantee, it's a win, it's whatever. You don't want to give that other team firepower. And listen, man, Washington's been on a hot streak, 4-game win streak now, and they're playing really well. Dallas still has a lot of firepower, even with right now a subpar running game because of injuries and whatnot. But I still like Dallas. I still like Dallas in this game, and with a 2-game lead, I think this is definitely their division.
Okay. Now, Coach, to you, was it a mistake saying you're going to win the game?
Yeah, of course. It's always a mistake. I mean, that's something you say in the locker room to your guys. You don't let that get out.
Right.
Because again, you're adding fuel to the fire, and it's already a big rivalry. You don't need to add any fuel to that. I mean,
Especially in the division.
Yeah, it's your division rivalry. I mean, whenever it's Dallas and anyone in that division, there's no need. You better be jacked for that game regardless. So.
Well, too, you got a team that's won 4 straight, like Stizz said, too. So you got a team that's feeling pretty confident, feeling pretty good about himself, and you just want to kind of like throw them out, kind of disregard them like that. I think it's a big mistake. And the other thing is, it's once again my problem with McCarthy, the coach doing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, the coach tells the players not to do it. Now
Right.
you're doing it yourself.
And then you're out doing it.
Was the worst I've ever heard. I've never heard somebody say something they were more unsure of than him. It's like, we're going to win the game. Like he's thinking about it. The only time I didn't mind it, and it was the Cowboys, was Jimmy Johnson, because he had so much belief in that team. You know what I mean? And he just, and it was against it. They were going on the road to San Francisco to get into the Super Bowl, and they hadn't been to the Super Bowl. But look at the team he had. You know what I'm saying? He had Troy Aikman, that line, Emmett, that defense. He just wanted to kind of talk. And so I have a problem with that. When you really believe in your team, I don't believe he believes in his team. I think he's just trying to kind of almost will it. Parsons has been great, Sammy. I mean,
out of his mind.
I mean, he might be Defensive Player of the Year, him or
Easily.
TJ Watt. He's played great. Do as I say, not as I do. It's what's good. And you're right, Billy. And happy birthday to his wife, you said, right, Coach?
Yep.
The immortal words of Uncle Billy.
Yeah. I think it's a mistake, and we'll see what happens today. But he's going to be eating crow if Dallas doesn't win today, and it's just going to bring all the talk. Then it's just not good. It's going to compound on the fact that now Dallas has obviously got a team that's coming at them in the NFC. So
that's the look I'm going for, Billy.
Coach, who do you like? Cowboys or Washington football team?
I honestly, I'm leaning Washington because, I mean, if I have to, I don't want either one of them to win. I hope it ends in a tie, to be honest with you. But
okay, Coach, I didn't ask you.
Good.
Yeah, who's going to win, Coach? It's a simple.
I think Washington comes out and wins, or I'm just stick with that because I could see Parsons having a big game. I could see him having a big game and them winning it. It'll be close though.
Okay. So you just contradicted yourself. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Because I don't
going to win. Parsons is going to have a big game, and so Coach.
I said I could also see him having a big game and carrying Dallas to the win.
I think Dallas's defense is going to. I don't think Washington's going to be able to score enough to beat the Cowboys. That's what I don't think the Cowboys are going to do it done too. Washington's defense is playing well. But I trust Dallas's offense more than I trust Washington's offense. So that's, obviously why I'm going with that. So, huge game today in the NFC. Well, obviously, Bills, Bucks play each other in a big game. Let me ask you guys, is this a must-win game for the Bills?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. Stizz, must-win game for the Bills?
100%. They're a game and a half back in the division. Facing the 9-3 Super Bowl contender Bucks. They better put their foot on the gas, man, and it better start today.
Yeah. I agree, guys. They lose today. They are out of the playoffs. They are out of the playoffs if they lose today, because they will be 7-6, and so will be the Colts. But the Colts beat the Bills a couple weeks ago, as you remember. So Bills, as crazy as it might be for a team that started like they did, but they're 3-4. If they lose today, they'll be 3-5 in their last 8. Will be out of the playoff picture. And it shows you how in a couple weeks things can change so much. Look at Washington, a team that was 2-6 is now 6-6 and actually controls their own destiny. They really do. Yeah. If they win the game, they beat Dallas twice, they'll have the tiebreaker. Washington, controls their destiny, even though they started 2-6 here only 4 weeks later. I mean, that just shows you the craziness of the NFL. Now, the
Billy, do your homework. I think that can't be right. There's no way.
No, come on,
man. Tom Brady has a winning record against every team except the Giants.
He owns the Bills and obviously he wants, because Browns are 6-6, so he wants the Bills to lose because it helps his squad out. Michael Johnson calling me a Giants homer. Now, the one thing I want to talk about is Tom Brady. I mean, you look at his resume, guys. I mean, the stats, he's going to own all of them. But then you talk about 7 Super Bowls. Is there ever going to be anybody, I'm not saying match, but even comes close to the resume Tom Brady's been able to put up, just because he's probably going to play another 2 years and pile on it? I'll start with you, Stizz. Do you see anybody even approaching near what his resume is?
Not so far.
Right.
There might be somebody not born yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
20 years from now that may surpass it, in his career. But as of right now, looking at the league, no, I just don't see it happening. That's why that's why they call him the GOAT.
Yeah. Coach.
I don't think in our lifetime we'll see it.
Yeah. No, I agree. And they say records are made to be broken, but like when you see what he's done, how many guys are going to be able to have that longevity that Brady's had? Now, I could see maybe some of his stats, like TDs or something, going from a Mahomes if he can play longer.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm saying when you put it all together, 7 Super Bowls, all the wins he had, the touchdowns, the yards, I could see obviously him losing a touchdown record or one of those. But when you put the resume together, that's going to be a hard GOAT to bid. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's possible.
Absolutely, Billy.
That's possible.
That might be the only way it happens, Bill.
Yeah. Now, who do you guys got today? My pick I'll give later, but Coach, Bills or Bucks? Who do you got?
Bucks.
Stizz.
I got the Bills plus 3 and a hook. Take them on the money line.
There we go. Okay, bold prediction of the week. My bold prediction of the week is going to be, so the Titans and the Ravens right now, I believe, are the 2 and the 3 seed. One of those teams will not make the playoffs. I just really think one of those teams is going to, injuries, issues. I think one of those teams is going to fall out of the playoff race. And, it's a 2 or a 3 seed. Stizz, your bold prediction, so we give Coach time to think of his.
And before I do, which one of them two do you think has a better chance of not making the playoffs? Baltimore, Tennessee,
Ravens.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you.
Right.
And I just heard this. If you guys heard it or not, Derrick Henry is on pace to come back for the playoffs this year.
What?
He may have a chance to come back for Week 18 if they need him to get into the playoffs. Just came through my phone about a half hour ago.
Really?
He is on track to play in the playoffs this year. Yes. Yeah.
Wow. What injury did he have?
Now listen, we're still 4 weeks away, 5 weeks away from the end of the season. Now, anything can happen until then, but yeah, that's the
word. What injury did he have? Do you remember?
Broken foot.
Broken foot. Okay, I thought he was done. For the okay.
I thought too.
What's your bold prediction, Stizz?
Listen, he only did it once this year. Threw for 300 yards plus. Russell Wilson, coming off an injury, been very pedestrian since even before that. My bold prediction today, Russell Wilson throws for 300-plus yards, 2+ touchdowns against the Houston Texans.
Billy, I'm going to disagree with that a little bit. I think, look at the quarterbacks you got. You got Mahomes, Allen, Herbert. I think you see a lot of good young guns nowadays. I mean, I think there's a lot of good young quarterbacks that have bright futures. Joe Burrows. I think there's some guys out there that are going to, make the league very interesting over them. Just look at the AFC. You got Josh Allen. You got Mahomes. You got Herbert. You got Burrows. Yeah. I mean, that's some good young quarterbacks that are going to, I think, all have bright futures. And that's not, Trevor Lawrence maybe get it going. We got to see, obviously, with him. But, Coach, your bold prediction, and it can't be the Giants are going to win.
No, it's, I think Cincinnati gets into the playoffs.
Okay.
All right, they're a home dog today. I think they win today and are in the hunt, man. I think they get into the playoffs.
I like it.
And Sammy's bold prediction: Washington beats Dallas by 10 today. That is a bold prediction. Billy says Burrow. Mahomes has the worst mechanics of any quarterback ever. Sammy doesn't have great mechanics, but he gets the job done. Although not as much lately. We're going to get into that later. Sammy. So we'll talk about that later. Coach just earned a pizza. How about that? There we go. Now, Rams Cardinals guy. And I know, look, Coach said it for the first 7 weeks of the year that the Cardinals were a fugazi. But not a lot of people. Cardinals 10-2, only team with 10 wins, best record in the NFL. But it feels like a lot of people don't think they can really not even win the Super Bowl. I don't think a lot of people think they can get to the Super Bowl. Let me ask you guys, do you think this team can win it all? Can the Cardinals, do they have a shot to win it all? I'll start with you, Coach.
No.
Okay. He thinks they're a fugazi still. Stizz.
I still think they are. I don't think they.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. Stizz, can they win it all?
No, I don't think so. Me and Coach were on that fugazi train beginning of the year. I don't know if you could say they're a fugazi right now. But no, I still think Tampa Bay is still the best team in the NFC. So no, I don't think they get to the Super Bowl.
And I'm going to answer this question, Billy. Mahomes, he's not played great the last couple weeks. This guy still won a Super Bowl. He's been in 3 straight AFC championships. When's Peyton Manning done that? He's been in the last 2 Super Bowls, like I said. He's had a couple games. Playing the Chiefs really would scare me. Colts scored points. But Manning, for a long time, he didn't have the success early. Don't forget, that was later in his career, and his second Super Bowl was because of the defense. It wasn't because of Peyton Manning.
Right.
Well, see, the other problem is, and I'm a huge Peyton Manning fan. During his regular season, he's lights out. Come the playoffs, man, Peyton Manning wasn't too good. Wasn't too good.
He couldn't get over that hump, man.
Couldn't get it done.
Yeah. Now, me with the Cardinals. Stizz, did you give? I can't remember. Did you say what you thought with the Cardinals?
Yeah, agreed with me.
Okay.
I think I agreed. I agree with Coach Minshew.
That's great. I agree. I think they're the type of team they could honestly. I could see them getting the bye and losing in the first round. And it's not to be. Yeah. It's just they lack playoff experience.
Agreed.
We'll see what happens, and I just think. I like the team, but, they're a young team, maybe next year. And they got a good defense. They do. But also, people forget they're playing a last place record. And you don't realize, but that's a big advantage,
right?
Especially in the NFC, because sometimes things change. But when you play a first place record, you're getting Green Bay and Tampa, okay, which are obviously really good teams. With the Cardinals, you're getting the Lions and the Falcons so that's 3 games that you're getting that are a lot easier than the other team, and that can be the difference in the division. And the Cardinals, don't get me wrong, much improved team, no doubt about it. Sure. Still, I definitely have my questions in regards to the Cardinals, and like I said, I agree with you guys. I don't think they can make it to the Super Bowl. And obviously, if you can't make it to the Super Bowl, that means you can't win. Now, let me ask you this, guys. Is this a must-win for the Rams, Stizz?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, bad week 4 loss to Arizona, to begin the season. Yeah, that they're tracking backwards. They're just like the Buffalo Bills. My 2 predictions for the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah.
They better put their foot on the gas, like I said earlier, and it's got to start today.
Coach, is this a must-win for the Rams?
Absolutely, it is. Absolutely, you can't win 2 and expect to be in the playoff mix. I mean, you've lost some games that you should have won, and you've made all these moves. You've got to win. It's must win for this. And go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, what I was just going to say is go back to the strength of schedule. The Redskins won the division. They are playing a first place schedule. And to start 2-6 and now 6-6 makes that a little bit more impressive than what you. So I give you a little props there, Sammy.
Yeah, and look, the Rams too. If you lose this game, the division's out. I mean, you're 2 games back. You'll be 3 games back, and they have the tiebreaker. So essentially, you're 4 games back with will be
4 to play.
So, I mean, essentially, you would have to go 4-0 and they go 0-4, and that's not going to happen. So, you can just and then that's my point. The Rams, I don't think, can go on the road 3 games through that NFC gauntlet, and it's going to be a gauntlet. I mean, that first round, they might have an easier game, but that NFC Championship and division round is going to be tough. Look at this.
No, because you're gonna have to play the Packers in the first round in Green Bay.
Well, it depends.
If they're the 2 seed and
they're not going to be the 7 seed, Coach. And the Packers could still get the 1 seed because if the Cardinals lose and the Packers win, they have the tiebreaker. So you got to see what happens. Regardless, it's going to be a tough schedule, and I don't see the Rams doing it. I just don't think they can go through that gauntlet. Who do you got, Coach? Rams? Or are you going to laugh? You got the Rams or the Cardinals? He's going to giggle at the comments. Coach.
I am taking – it's a must-win for the Rams, but I don't think they can win. I'm taking the Cardinals today.
Stizz, Rams or Cardinals? And the game's tomorrow. Cardinals?
Yeah, I got the Cardinals.
Honestly, I think the Rams are going to have a win today. I mean, tomorrow. Now he got me doing it. Yeah, I think the Rams – I think you're going to see finally – the Rams. And look, once again,
I hope.
It's the question with Stafford. He can't win big games. I thought it was 2.5, Sammy. Okay. Maybe the line went up. But in my opinion, it's a huge game for Stafford too, because he just can't win against winning teams. And, all his wins are against teams under 500. So, you're going to have that narrative too if they lose. I think the Rams are going to find a way to win on Monday. Just how I feel. Billy, it's the curse of Odell. I mean, I wouldn't say it's his fault, but he's not exactly helping though either. I would rather have Robert Woods than Odell. So I think that's more the thing. Robert Woods getting hurt, and their offensive line's not playing big. Takes 3 to block me down. Okay. And Sammy has him at minus 3.5. Yeah, I saw 2.5. Stizz, I don't know if you looked at the line. I didn't see 3.5. Oh, half. Yeah. Okay.
Uncle Bill got all the I like it.
Yeah. We're gonna get into Coach's Giants-Chargers games today. Stizz, what's the update with the receivers?
Keenan Allen tested positive Monday. He's out for this game. Mike Williams is in though, which is good for Justin Herbert. Mike Williams was the scary one because he's unvaccinated, so he had to test negative, I believe, 5 straight tests, which he did. So he was cleared to play. You're going to have Jalen Guyton and the rookie Josh Palmer on the opposite end of Mike Williams today. So I think they have a big game. I don't think it matters. I think Herbert is going to get the ball to whoever he needs to beat this washed up Giants team.
Okay. Yeah. Now, Coach,
they are washed up.
Chargers do have the worst run defense in the NFL.
And we have the biggest bust in running back.
Yeah. So, but can today be Saquon's biggest breakout? Can this be his breakout game?
No,
okay.
It's not. It's not. Jake Fromm should be starting. I mean, Mike Glennon apparently cleared concussion protocol.
Okay. Coach's internet. There he goes.
He froze.
Likely be the so.
Coach.
All right.
What?
Now, Coach, any chance Giants pull the upset up?
There's always a chance. Would love it as a fan. Got my fan hat on. I took my eye patch off and watching as a fan today, not an analyst.
Now, Coach, you got this.
You might have been better with Jake from State Farm.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I thought
something different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Coach. Let me ask you this. Rumors are now starting to go around that the Giants are actually leaning and bringing Joe Judge back and giving him a chance with the new GM. Would that be a mistake to you?
Well, I don't think it's the Giants' call. I mean, you've got to give the new GM his call. You got to give him, but I think the new GM here, you get one shot at this. You're keeping Joe Judge or you're getting your own guy. It's A or B. It's not we're going to give him a year and see what we can see. It's you got to make the choice. Take it or move on.
That was great. First, he's like the Giants call. I'm like, wait a second, it's the Giants head coach. It is their call. But no, I get what you're saying. You hire your GM and let him make his evaluation.
Right.
And Super seems like you want to give him a year. Do you think he's good? And no, I can see that. I can definitely see that. Now,
and I could see that happening because I know the head of player personnel or whoever the GM technically is in New England is in the mix to be the general manager. Basically, okay. Bill Belichick's right-hand man is in.
Correct.
Be the general manager. See Joe Judge stand. So.
Okay. And then after that, he's going to go and fix Coach's Wi-Fi too. So
yeah, there you go. All right.
Now, guys, Bengals Ravens. Browns Ravens. Browns with a win today. You get to 7-6. Obviously would put the Ravens at 8-5. Puts them back in the mix a little bit. So obviously big game for both those teams. I think a big game for the Ravens too because you don't want to start that slide, especially with how Lamar has been regressing. And look, it's been really bad the last few weeks. I'll start with Stizz on this one. Let me ask you a question, Stizz. Do you think Lamar can ever really become that complete QB? I know, a playmaker and makes plays, but do you ever think he's really ever going to become a pocket passer and a true passing quarterback?
No. I mean, he makes plays with his legs, and I think that's all he's going to be, I'll be honest with you. He is regressing this year. Actually, the last 2 years he's regressed. Yeah. I just don't think he's going to turn into anything. I think he's going to be, a thing of the past within a couple years and a backup. I'm going to put this. This might be a bold prediction next week or next year that Lamar Jackson will be a backup quarterback within the next 2 years.
Wow. Coach, does he ever become a complete QB?
The tools are there. I think he can.
Yeah,
I really do.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Stizz. I do think you could upgrade him a little bit in regards to the wide receivers, but there's so many times the guys are open and it's there. I mean, you saw it on the 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
That's an easy throw to win a game, and he couldn't.
And he's not making it.
Yeah, I mean, there's too many. And you see now, a lot of these guys are going zero blitz and leaving guys one-on-one. They just don't think Lamar can make the easy pass. Right. I mean, it's that simple. And guys, I remember I said it when the Dolphins did it. I said the Dolphins showed a game plan against him. They were sending corners and going cover zero, and teams started to do it. And since then, and look, Lamar can adjust possibly, but he better adjust quickly because, I mean, look, that Browns game, he has 4 picks. He was bad last week. It's headed in the wrong direction. Billy McNabb, McNabb was a good quarterback. Look, he had some accuracy issues, but you can't. McNabb could make some throws. Lamar's at a whole nother level. Now Lamar can do things with his legs McNabb couldn't, but yeah, I'm going to disagree with you on that too. McNabb had some success throwing the ball, I mean, Lamar really, really struggles to throw the ball. The Ravens are all run the ball and play defense. No, Sammy, you're right, but still, he's that hasn't mattered before. And look, he still has all his weapons on the outside. He's just really struggling to throw the ball. And next question, guys, is Baker Mayfield back next year? Stizz?
Oh God, I hope not.
Coach?
I'm not a big Baker fan.
Yeah. Coach,
No, I think they move on. They're a quarterback away. You know this, right. Mike Johnson. They're a quarterback away, and Baker's not your guy, man.
And I think Mike would agree on that too. I don't think Mike's too much of a Baker, fan as well.
I'll agree with you there, Billy. He did change his game. Eagles had a pretty good offensive line with McNabb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
So did I. I thought they did. I mean, you had Runyon during that time.
Andy always had. I see what you're saying, Michael.
So he drafted the fireman in the first round.
Michael, I see what you're saying. Who else do we have? But I think they're gonna get somebody. I really do. They're gonna go out and try to bring. Look, there's a lot of guys out there. You could say, honestly, you could take Cousins. It could be Watson. It could be Wilson. It could be Rodgers. But I think they're headed for divorce. I really do. I just think they got, like you guys said it, and they are that team. They're like the Colts when they went out and got Wentz. They're a quarterback away from really being a good team. Yeah, I don't disagree with that, Michael. You are, Andy. That's great. Look, man. I've been called Big Red before, brother. All right, guys. Bengals, Niners. Coach, I guess we're going to know your answer. Bengals are a home underdog. I'll start with Stizz on this because Coach did say in his bold prediction, Bengals are a playoff team. Stizz, Bengals going to be a playoff team this year?
Yeah. They're only one game back, man. They're in the hunt,
right.
So it's not like they're far behind. Yeah, they win this game, they're right back in it. Yeah, I like them. I like them to make a playoff run.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you guys. Yeah, and I think they'll beat the Ravens again because the Ravens' pass defense is just terrible. I think he's going to throw another big game against them like he did before. I'm going to agree with you guys. I got the Bengals in the playoffs. Now, guys, Jimmy G actually been playing well with the Niners. Deebo Samuel having a big year. Is he playing today, Stizz? Do you know Deebo Samuel? He's out? Okay. Any chance the Niners bring back Jimmy G? If Trey Lance doesn't look too good right now, I'll start with you, Coach.
No, you got to give the kid the keys. You drafted, you traded the picks. Yeah. You got to give the kid the keys.
Stizz, any chance he comes back?
I actually think they do. I actually think they do, and I think they start him again next year, Jimmy G, and Trey Lance maybe comes in a few weeks in and give him some more time.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's a possibility. I think there's going to be so much pressure, though, with what they gave up to get him. But, man, Trey Lance did not look good this year. Now, it's only one game, but, he did not look good. Everybody thought they were going to beat the Cardinals. Yeah, they did not look good. Now they came out and said it. Still, I don't know if I believe it. Obviously, more Jags drama. One of their coaches left for a college job. So you're willing to leave the NFL to go to a college job. And then Urban Meyer benched James Robinson during the game. And think about this. Your rookie quarterback basically comes out in the post-game press conference and goes against you and says he needs to be on the field. I think there's real issues with the Jags. Now, they came out yesterday and said that he's going to return. Me personally, I'll start off with my opinion. I think he's done. Stizz, what's your opinion? Is Urban Meyer back next year?
Yeah, there's too many issues this year. He's got to go. He's got to go back to college or go back to somewhere else. Listen, even the veteran Marvin Jones walked out of the facility this week. Wow. Players had to ask him to come back to the facility because he was done over all the shit that was going on with Urban Meyer. All the controversy between him, the players, the coaches, everything.
Yeah. Coach, is he one and done?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
There's
rumors that they love Charlie Strong, who's the coach, and he might end up being the next head coach, which would surprise me because if you make that mistake, why are you going to go to another essentially college coach, with Charlie Strong? That would be surprising to me. But yeah, I think he is going to be one and done. And I think he might be regretting that he didn't leave and go grab that USC job or to go back to Florida or LSU or Notre Dame, which that was his dream job always was Notre Dame.
Real quick, Nevada.
Good.
Real quick, Brian put up a comment about a defense to start this week, and I got to agree with Mike. I got to start Baltimore. I mean, as good as Buffalo's defense is, how do you go against TB12?
Yeah, right. The matchup just makes no sense. Yeah.
Unfortunately, you know what I mean? If they were at home, I don't know. Maybe I'd think about it, but I think you got to start Baltimore.
Yeah, I agree, Stizz. I mean, look, the last game they played was 16-10. Now, Baltimore's defense really banged up. Just lost Marlon Humphreys, their best corner. But
which is
good. How do you go against that Bucs offense? I gotta agree with you. Hurts for a trade. Yeah, I don't know, Billy. I think they're bringing back Hurts. I really do. And there he is. What's going on, Uncle Bill?
Uncle Bill. What's up,
Uncle Bill?
There we go. Now, guys, Chiefs Raiders today. Now, at this point, I know what Coach is going to say, but I think you got to consider the Chiefs the AFC favorite. I mean, they're back-to-back, AFC champion. They're only a half a game back of the Patriots. They win, they're tied. Stizz, do you agree? Are the Chiefs now the AFC favorite to win it all?
Here they come, man. Here they come. 5-game win streak.
That was the team we said 4-win team. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're on a 5-game win streak. Listen, I think we can all agree they're not playing Kansas City Chiefs football. They're not blowing teams out. These wins are all close games. They're not scoring 35, 40 points a game. But listen, they're getting it done. As long as they got a win in the win column, that's all that counts. So, yeah, I think this is their division to hold.
Okay. Oh, we know what Coach thinks, right, Coach? Because you said that you think the Patriots. You think the Patriots are the team to beat.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Absolutely.
But he thinks the Patriots. Okay. No, I mean I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's just, I got to go with the Chiefs. I love Bill and I love the defense. It's just, and I think the Patriots got a shot. I mean, you got Bill Belichick, but I think Mac Jones in the playoffs. You got to show it to me. And they showed you in that game, they didn't trust him. And I understand the win, they didn't need to do it, but they didn't trust him to throw that ball. So now let me ask you guys, what's going on with Patrick Mahomes? Because now it's not just a game or two, it's a trend. He's really, I hate to say struggled. It just hasn't been the Patrick Mahomes we're used to. What do you think the issue is? I'll start with you, Coach.
I think it's the offensive line. You got rid of your 2 tackles, and he's trying to play Patrick ball, and it's not working out for him.
Okay, Stizz, what do you think?
Backyard football, yeah, that's exactly right, Sammy. He, I think he's keying on 2 guys. Kelsey and Hill, and he's not looking anywhere else. And that's a problem. When you get tunnel vision in the league, man, you just don't,
Sammy just says a woman. That's great. Sorry, Stizz, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's all right.
Sammy, because and look, and it's that's valid, but this is right too. He doesn't check the ball down. He goes for the big play. I'll be right. Michael, you're 100% right. Sometimes he needs to just take what the team gives him, and he's so used to, this guy came into the league and just ran over it. You know what I mean? And I think it's, maybe almost he's overconfident.
Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah. The overconfidence.
Yeah. I mean, and look, you guys know it. The NFL is all about confidence and playing, playing with confidence, obviously. Now we're going to go into the fantasy champ, survivor pool champ, cornhole champ. I mean, What else want me? Come on, Stizz, give me more. What else?
Listen,
Life champ.
it just keeps on going on and on. All you gotta say is et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
All right, Stizz. So we got the playoffs starting next week in most drafts. Last year, and Stizz knows this personally, David Montgomery quietly, I think the last, 5 or 6 weeks down the year, was the number one fantasy running back in football. Let me ask you this. Who do you see being that player this year? Who's the most consistent? Who's the guy that maybe quietly not talked about could be that guy down the stretch?
So quietly, I would say it's got to be James Conner.
Okay.
The running back from Arizona. I mean, Arizona's having a lot of success this year. And it's because of James Conner coming in. He's been scoring touchdowns this year. He's been playing well out of the receiving game. And he's a guy that I think that'll put you over the hump. Even before the Chase Edmonds injury, he was still playing well alongside of him. So yeah, he's the sneaky play. Your monster play, in my opinion, and I think everybody else's opinion, has got to be Cooper Kupp. I mean, Cooper Kupp is just lights out. He's 25.3 fantasy points per week. Double-digit targets in every game except for one this year, okay? 700-yard games this year. The guy is just lights out, and he's the one making a run for Matt Stafford and actually giving him a chance to do something this year in L.A. So, yeah, Cooper Kupp's got to be my big play guy. And you know what? I look back at my personal league, my big money league. Cooper Kupp was drafted in the 5th round.
Wow.
So I can actually say he is kind of a sneakier pick. I mean, he's a big name, but
definitely,
obviously drafted in the 5th round of fantasy, nobody thought he was that great of a pick, or else he would have been a first round, early 2nd round pick.
It's a good one, Mike. Eckler,
absolutely. Absolutely. Eckler's another good one. He's actually ranked 2nd or 3rd among fantasy running backs this year.
Here's some more names for you too, Stizz. The Master of Disaster. The champ is here. The buffet champ. I like this one all. Call Stizz the Swami, baby. I like it, Billy. Get the hat for you, Stizz. Yeah, we'll call you the Swami.
Johnny Carson, the old Johnny Carson hat.
The Rock, the People's Fantasy Champ. All right, is anything else on the playoffs? Or you want to get in your starts and sits?
No, that's we can get into my waivers, my starts, sits. Uncle Bill, I don't know about Pollard, my brother. His torn plantar fascia, it doesn't look good, my man. Pollard, yes, if he was healthy,
100%.
Absolutely, he would be the sneaky pick, 100%. But not with this injury, not now. Unfortunately, not.
No, yeah. So, that's this, sir.
Where want to start? You want to start with the waiver?
Yeah, it's fine. It works. And then getting your starts.
Let's go on the waiver wire right away. That way these guys can hop on before these kickoffs.
Right.
My top waiver wire play this week is going to be Deontay Foreman, running back for Tennessee Titans.
Wow.
2 weeks ago, listen, Tennessee's extremely committed to the run. We all know that.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Without their playmakers on offense. Now, Julio Jones is coming back this week, but listen, Julio Jones isn't Julio Jones from years ago. Julio Jones is injury prone. He hasn't shown you much this year. I didn't think he was going to anyway. Missing A.J. Brown is a problem, okay? Week 5 versus Jacksonville, they ran the ball 78% of the time, 1st and 2nd downs. So it shows you this is their game plan, that they're a run-first team. Week 12 against New England, Deontay Foreman had 19 carries for 109 yards, along with Ike Hilliard. That was kind of like the monster match. They both had 100 yards rushing. So I expect them to ground and pound against these beat-up Jacksonville Jaguars, who are allowing 24.1 points per game in fantasy-wise. So Deontay Foreman, I think, is going to be your pickup of the week.
Yeah. Michael, I think that's a good one, too. Antonio Gibson. That's a good, guy quietly doing. Gibson's playing well. That's a good one, too.
And it helps Gibson, J.D. McKissick being out, because J.D. McKissick was taking a lot of passing targets away from him, and now you're seeing Gibson getting out of the receiving game. So, yeah, that is a good one.
All right, Stizz, any sets?
Sits. Yeah, okay. We can start with the sits.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I got Zeke Elliott against
Okay,
Washington.
yeah, I agree.
Listen, man, fellas, he hasn't looked right since week 6. I mean, he started out gangbanging, 100 yards rushing, a few of them first 6 games. But since then, man, he just hasn't looked right. Last 6 weeks, he hasn't rushed over 51 yards. I mean, that's not the Zeke we're looking for. And now with that Tony Pollard injury, man, I don't know. He's going to be a goal line back. I think they're going to have to pass the ball a lot. His longest run in the last 6 weeks is 11 yards. You can tell. You can tell by looking at. You can tell by looking at him on the field. He has no burst whatsoever.
Yeah,
his that foot's hurting him. But listen, man, this guy's a trooper, and I think he stayed on the field because he didn't want Pollard, as Uncle Bill said. He didn't want Pollard to take that starting job away from him. You know, he's playing hurt. He's a trooper, so he's going to. And they say that he's not going to be right for another 2 to 3 weeks. He's not going to be fully healthy.
Yeah.
But how can you be fully healthy if you're playing on a bad foot? I mean, you're re-aggravating it. So I don't know. He's going to keep on playing. He's going to keep on playing hard. But I gotta sit him. Sit him. Look out for a little sneaky play of Corey Clement. God forbid Zeke goes down or something happens.
Okay.
He's a third string running back on that Dallas Cowboys offense.
Yeah. Yep.
So you can play on that on the waiver wires for your playoff run.
And he starts?
I do have a start of the week is going to be A.J. Dillon versus Chicago. Good matchup.
I like it.
Okay. Aaron Jones came back last week or the week before the bye week. Don't jump ship just because Aaron Jones is back. I mean, I think A.J. Dillon, in my opinion, he's a better running back. He's actually out-touching Aaron Jones. If you looked at his stats during the year, he's seen a lot of work in the passing game. He's had over 4 targets per game in the last 4. I think A.J. Dillon is going to be a force to contend with this week and moving forward into the playoffs. And God forbid if Aaron Jones goes down again, A.J. Dillon's my start this week.
Okay. Stizz, I've always said, I think they made a mistake. Aaron Jones is a great running back, but I would have put that money into now they drafted a center and he's actually worked out and played pretty well. But I would have put that money in somewhere else. I really would have. I believed in A.J. Dillon that much. I think he's a really good running back. Maybe you could have drafted a complimentary back with him. But, yeah, I would have put that money somewhere else if I was the Packers. I think that highly of A.J. Dillon. And I know you were looking in that direction and you were going to focus on him to draft in fantasy if they did get rid of Aaron Jones. I remember us talking about that. So now we're going to get into my picks. I'm going to start off. I'm going to go with the Browns today, -2.5. I think the Ravens are headed in the wrong direction. Browns needed that bye terribly with just a banged-up team. I really think it's going to help this Browns team at home. Close game last time. Obviously Lamar 4 interceptions. I like the Browns today -2.5. Then I'm going to go out to look. I think this is a game. The Bills were pissed Monday night. Look. The weather affected that game. If the winds weren't fucking 60 miles an hour, I think the Bills probably win that game. But there's nothing they could do. And Josh Allen, you know what? He had 2 throws he could have thrown into the end zone, and he didn't make them late in the game. He had Beasley wide open, and then I can't remember the other one. And some guys didn't make plays. But I got the Bills +3.5. I think they're going to win outright today. I really do. This is a must-win game for the Bills. I think you're going to see the Bills here get hot. I really do. I think I could see them winning all their games out the rest of the year. I like the Bills today. Bills win. I think they could win in New England too. And then there are other games. I think it's the Falcons, the Jets, and somebody else. But, if they can get today and then they get New England, I see the Bills going 5-0 to end the year. So I like the Bills +3.5. Then I'm going to give you another 3-team teaser like I did last week. I'm going to go Denver -1.5 against, look, Lions coming off a win, happy, but they also tons of issues with the flu and COVID. A lot of people are going to be out. It's just, it's a great spot for Denver. You're getting Denver -1.5. And then I'm going to take the Packers -1.5 at home against the Bears. You got to love that. And then I'm going to go with the Seahawks plus a half against the Texans. Starting Davis Mills really hasn't had success. I agree with Stizz. I think Russ is going to get hot today. This is going to see that game. He played better last week. I think you're going to see a big game from Russ. I think you see 3 touchdowns from him. I agree.
Let's start cooking, baby. Let's start cooking.
Yeah, I think it's now Jamal Adams is out for the year, but still, I think I love that tease. Yeah, I think the Seahawks get right today. Now my other 2 picks, I'm going to go with the Jags. I'm going to go against Stizz. He had 8. My line was 8.5 on my book. Every book's different. But I just think it's too many points for Tennessee. Tennessee's offense is struggling. Look, this is a risky pick. This is a team that lost 31-0 last week. So you never know. Oh wait, no, that was the Texans that lost to the Colts, wasn't it? I'm sorry,
yes,
they got smoked by the Rams, 37-7. That's what it was.
Right.
But still, a team that got smoked. I just think Tennessee, without Henry, without AJ Brown, it's just a different team. Jags defense has kind of been up and down, but I like the Jags today. I think they keep it closer. I think Tennessee's going to find a way to win. But look, I wouldn't be stunned if the Jags got the upset here. I really wouldn't. I'm going to go with the Jags plus 8.5. And then I like Dallas to win. But look, this line's up to 6.5. So a ton of Dallas money coming in late. Buy the hook. Take the 7. You got a tough division game here. I see Washington keeping it within a touchdown. I'm going to go with the Washington football team plus 7. Now we'll get into our Stizz. Let's do your prop bet, and then we'll do our lock. Stizz, your prop bet. Go ahead.
My prop bet, I got Kyle Pitts under 49.5 receiving yards today going against Carolina Panthers. Okay. They just been keying on him. They've been double teaming him. They've been triple teaming him. They've been doing whatever they needed to do. So I think they're going to take him out of the game.
All right. Now, locks of the week. Mine, as you said, I'm going to go with my Bills. And I think Nevada, you guys know, I didn't lose a game. Started off good last week. I called the game on Thursday. So I got a nice run here. Hoping I can I think it would be 7 or 8 in a row here with my locks. I definitely know it's 6, but yeah, my lock of the week is going to be the Bills plus 3.5. Stizz, your lock of the week.
Well, I hate to do it. I hate to go against you, Nick, but I'm going Tennessee Titans. I got a line of -8. I just think even without A.J. Brown, even without Derrick Henry, you see the running game was fine, and they're going to use it today. Julio's back. Okay, he's probably not going to do a whole lot. I think the running game is going to do it all today. I think Jacksonville is just in turmoil. I think they're going to get blown out. Double digits. Yeah. 16, 17 plus. You might even see a shutout today, to be honest with you. Okay. I just think Jacksonville is beyond repair right now, and I think they're going backwards. And I think Tennessee's got to make a statement because they came out hot early in the year, and we sold them as the division winner early when the Colts were kind of struggling. Now the Colts are catching up to them. They don't want that to happen, man. They got to win a couple more games, and I need them to win 2 more games to get my big prop of the year. So I'm rooting Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, that's why I need my Eagles to get 1 more win from mine. Coach, speaking of hot, I have whatever it is, 6, 7 in a row. Speaking of hot, Coach, 2 in a row.
That's right. Stacking wins, baby. We are stacking wins, baby.
Who's your lock of the week, Coach?
My lock of the week is Green Bay. I think Chicago has packed it in as well. And I think Aaron Rodgers, listen, when you go to Chicago, you change the Bears' diapers. Aaron Rodgers' name's stitched in the crack of their ass because he owns them, okay? They're his bitch, and he's going to show it today.
That's right. He said it. He owns them.
He owns them. That's right.
He's out. Williams in Detroit. That's what he's talking about, right?
Williams, he's out because of COVID, Mike.
Right.
He's out because of COVID.
So, all right, everyone.
Yeah. Go ahead,
listen,
Coach.
thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. Please like us, share it with your friends. Go YouTube, ring the bell, subscribe. We appreciate it. Everyone be safe. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Stizz showing the hardware.
6 o'clock, me and Nick. So there you go. All right, everyone be safe. Enjoy some